So far my stub out for the water closet is done. My stub outs for the sinks are done. And then this shower is 3/4 done. I've got my valve set. I've got my shower head. And then the last thing I got to do is the handheld sprayer for this one. This is what I got stuck on last night. And so the issue is here's like the mounting piece that it comes with for the handheld sprayer. You know, sits right here in this little clip. And then what my plan was to use one of these drop ear elbows in the wall, and then have this mount screw into that after the tile is done. But there's no way that this would work. So the thickness of the wall between the backer board and the tile is going to be over an inch, a little over an inch. And so this distance here between this mounting bracket and then my pipe is less than an inch. So there would be no way to fit this in the wall, so that where this pipe is behind the wall, and then where this bracket is, where this trim piece is in front of the wall. So that's what I was hung up on. I haven't seen any information, any videos, anything about how to do this. So here's what I've come up with. The only way to make this work is to have a longer arm here. So like from where the pipe is to where this trim piece is, that distance needs to be farther. So what I've come up with is using a brass nipple and a brass coupling. So this is basically a male to male piece, and this is a female to female piece. So I think when I just put this together, that's going to serve as my extension between here. I think they do make male to female nipples that would screw directly into the drop ear elbow, and then this trim piece could screw directly into that. So it kind of combine this whole extension into one piece. But that wasn't readily available at the orange store. So instead of waiting for something to come from Amazon, I went ahead and got these two pieces of hardware that I think this will work. I don't see any reason why you can't do this. Now, I've still got to be pretty careful with how deep into the wall I install this drop ear elbow, because there's a certain depth at which all of these fittings are going to be tight together. So if this is too far out of the wall, then we're not going to be able to get this all the way tight up against the wall, and we're going to have a gap here. If we have this too far back into the wall, we're not going to be able to screw this all the way tight where we have a solid connection between our fittings. So that's going to be prone to leaking. So I do want to be very particular about what depth I'm setting this drop ear elbow at. To figure that out, what I'm going to do is put all of these pieces together. I'm going to go ahead and put the thread tape on and assemble this whole thing and come up with what that depth is, and then subtract the thickness of my finished wall, so between the backer board, thin set tile, then that's going to give me how far into the wall the back of this elbow needs to be. Let's see what this comes out to. I'm like 3 7/16, I would say. Here, let's see. So I've got my 2x3 wall in front. That's where the plumbing's going to be, and then I've got my 3.5-inch wall for the pocket door and back. So using this setup of fittings, and I don't know if I should kind of do this again with some tape on here just to see if that changes the answer. But right now, this is coming out to, this elbow needs to be just 1/8 of an inch in from the back of these studs. Yeah, so typically you'd have to drill through the stud, but I've got this second wall cavity behind it, so I brought my pipe around there, and it fits in there pretty comfortably.